You know, in most cases, when there's a battle between a good guy and a bad guy, it's usually the good guy who's on the ropes. And then by the end of the episode, it leaves off on a cliffhanger. And then you start watching the next episode being like, oh, how is the good guy going to pull this out? And you start thinking maybe he doesn't make it, right? Maybe something happens to him to where he's permanently scarred. All that stuff. This, however, is completely opposite. Maybe it's because I underestimate Reggie. Maybe it's because I overestimate Fushiguro. But the chances of Reggie coming out of this alive, slim to none, in my opinion. To be fair, the only thing I would think would keep Reggie alive is his points. Like, Fushiguro needs his points. But I think as soon as Reggie gives him the points, Fushiguro can just kill Reggie and then take another 5 points because of that. So, like, good luck, Reggie. You'll put up a fight, maybe, but I guess we'll see. So without further ado, let's get straight on into it. Make sure the original content as always. And yeah, let's get going in 3, 2, 1.
Domain expansion. Chimera Shadow Garden.
All right, let's see how complete this is. Probably still not complete, but better. Oh?
Hollow Wicker Basket.
Hollow Wicker Basket is the origin of new Shadow Style's simple domain. It possesses
origin.
the ability to neutralize a domain and counter its guaranteed hit factor. However, Hollow Wicker Basket and Simple Domain aren't capable of neutralizing the curse technique. So instead, they work by neutralizing the barrier that's imbued with curse technique. But Fushiguro's domain is incomplete.
Yes.
Guess that wiped the sneer off your face. You damn brat!
When he transposed his domain onto the space of the gymnasium, it is not imbued with a guaranteed hit technique.
Okay.
Unfortunately for Reggie Star, that very imperfection is what caught him off guard.
Both his clones and his Shikigami had physical forms before striking me. That means this barrier isn't imbued with a guaranteed hit technique. If he pulls that elephant out here and drenches me in water, it'll take away half of my options, and I'll probably lose.
I don't think he's gonna do it just yet. He might wait a little bit for it.
But you know, it's so like me to make sure.
How many more receipts do you have?
Too slow.
No.
I have it figured out.
Nope, he has a plan.
Yes,
Oh, what is it? Ooh, what is he doing?
Because the whole bottom of this domain is your shadow, right? You're able to remove and store objects and yourself. But one thing kept nagging at me. Why doesn't this guy have more weapons he can use? Or you're being forced to bear the weight of the objects that are stored in your shadow.
Oh, including the cars that just got consumed?
Now I've turned the design of your domain against you. With 3 passenger cars, your current weight is approximately 2.4 tons. Even if it's incomplete, my shadow is everywhere!
Oh! Gosh, how is he bearing this weight?
Which one of us will get crushed first? Reggie!
And that was just the intro. Is this fight gonna go on the whole episode? I doubt it. There's no way I can see this fight lasting at least 20 minutes. And okay, that explanation, did anyone get that? Did everyone get that? I'm gonna have to watch it at least 3, 4, 16 more times in order to understand exactly what that dude was explaining. He was explaining it. It's just things were being said and I was just not having time to connect the dots to the thing. And then he moved on to the next point and I was like, wait, hold on. I'm trying to connect this piece first. The basics of what I got was he used the wicker basket because that usually stops the complete domains and stuff. But since it's incomplete, it wasn't what he was expecting. So he was caught off guard for the first couple seconds or minute he was in there. They're not dropping the bombs yet, right?
A typical human will lose consciousness at 5 to 6 Gs. 2.4 tons. Because Fushiguro weighed only 60 kilograms, that meant he was currently suffering the equivalent of 40 Gs.
40?
In order to prevent
How is he still? He looks like his father right here. Goodness.
Fushiguro was lowering his posture and reinforcing his body with cursed energy, paying special attention to his legs. A mature African elephant weighs 3 to 6 tons. Max
Gosh.
Elephant accurately
And that weight is now
real
focused
weight.
on Reggie's
Under
feet.
that weight, Reggie Starr's right fibula and heel bone were cracking.
Ooh.
I screwed up. I could have won if I had kept the trucks in reserve, but my trump card's still safe.
Trump card? What's a trump
I could
card?
slip into his shadow and recreate my trump card inside it.
But then wouldn't you get trapped in the shadow?
He's not dismissing his domain, but when he does decide to dismiss it, that means anything still in his shadow is going to be stuck inside there.
Yep.
What if I'm stuck in his shadow forever? What's it like inside his shadow anyway? It looks
Dark.
like a liquid, but what if I kept breathing it?
Do you really want to find out?
I have to pull out my trump card.
Ooh, okay, you reached it.
Contractual recreation!
Oh.
I didn't make it in time.
Really?
Now I know there's no oxygen inside of his shadow. I'm just
Suffocating?
sinking. Not yet. Wait until I'm sure he's dead before dismissing the domain.
Yeah.
And I can expel whatever's in my shadow.
Because otherwise he doesn't get the points, because technically Reggie's not dead. He's gonna wait until that thing pops up. Saying that you got 5 points. Oh.
The things I recreate, they disappear soon after carrying out whatever command I gave them to carry out.
Yeah.
However, I didn't give those cars I sank any command. That means I could still issue them a command if I want. Something like take me and rise up. The weight of one car is gone now, but it was totally worth it to save my life. I am man enough to admit it. You are strong, but not as strong as me. Contractual recreation!
Oh, what is it? A house?
132 square foot, 2-story.
That was on a receipt?
structure, and I'm commanding it to crush you!
It seems dire, but Fushikuro's got this. Well, yeah, he's got this.
What happened?
I don't know. You tell me. You were supposed to be
Fall
watching
back
him.
into his shadow again?
You
No,
did.
I'm in actual water. How?
Oh.
What's the brat trying to do? Strangle me? What?
Oh, he's gonna wait for you to bring the car up.
That's wrong.
Save him too.
This is from the weight of those 2 cars that I added. I have to dismiss contractual recreation.
That's smart. Oh, where did he go?
Did he go hiding in his shadow and dismiss his domain?
You can't use your receipts when they're that wet, can you?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, he needs to burn them.
He waited instead of pursuing me right away. Does that mean his technique still needs to recover after his domain exhausted it? Are you sure? I'm sure that you can produce your Shikigami in your current condition.
Try me.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Where'd the dog come from? Contractual recreation?
Demon Dog was some weak Shikigami. You were wrong.
Contractual? You didn't get like a nurse receipt, a doctor's receipt for stitches and stuff?
The domain, the pool, all to convince me you couldn't use that dog anymore.
In a long
Didn't
game.
escape into this gymnasium. You lured me into it.
Tell me, how are you connected to Tengen?
Is he actually gonna say?
Oh, right, Tengen. That hermit would still be alive.
Mm-hmm.
Must be history's greatest shut-in.
I'd be smart to consider the possibility Tengen and Kenjaku are secretly connected, and that
Ye-
they're both
yeah.
lying about their endgames. That doesn't seem likely from Reggie's reaction.
Is he actually gonna say it, or he's just gonna leave it oblivious?
Transfer all my points over to this little brat.
Okay.
I want to do at least one good deed before I die. By the way, I'm just a spectator here. Kenjaku
Listen,
and I weren't ever close friends.
We need information.
But I do like this game. Let fate toy with you. before you die like a fool.
So no information about the whole Tengen thing? The only thing you said was that you and Kinjaku weren't that close. Well...
You have gained 5 points for a kill.
I wasn't really surprised. Oh, he's pissed. That guy's pissed. Like, how dare you kick me?
Nope, because you dropped your guard.
He's in a different outfit.
Tough guy. What the hell?
Player Hazanoki.
What do you want?
I regret to inform you that player Reggie Star has just died.
Yep, you're all alone now.
Where you going?
I'm going home.
Hey, how about giving me your points?
Don't follow me.
Takaba's cursed
I mean, you've tried.
comedian takes whatever he's convinced would be funny and turns it into a reality. Even Satoru Gojo is incapable of opposing this technique.
So if he said, oh, it would be really funny if Gojo got hit, he would get hit? The thing is, he thinks everything's funny. So he can literally do anything.
I don't get it. Ever since I became an adult, I hardly understand anything.
I understand.
It's a win-win situation.
Well.
The wolves love being in charge, and I love not thinking about anything.
You know what? I kind of don't like this, but I feel like he'll be nice. Hope?
Megumi, don't.
Just like back in middle school, junior high, whatever.
You're not killing me?
Shut up already.
Oh? Is it the angel? Yeah. But she doesn't have healing abilities. Hers is the...
Events progressed quickly in the Sendai colony.
The cancellation of abilities, I think.
Drew Vlachtawala. Current points, 91.
Nice.
This is his second incarnation.
Second?
Ryu Ishigori. Current points, 77.
Some high
He
points.
has the greatest cursed energy firepower among any other remaining player in the game.
Is that from his hair?
Takako Uro. Current points, 70. She was originally the captain of the Sun, Moon, and Stars Squad, assassins for the Fujiwara clan. Her technique can manipulate the sky.
Manipulate the
Kuro
sky.
Urushi. Current points, 54. It's currently lying dormant until certain conditions are met.
Great, the conditions are going to be met.
But their complex compatibility and opposing strength led them into a four-way stalemate.
They're in the same colony?
One of those pillars has fallen.
Yes! Ah!
He is a modern sorcerer rivaling the abilities of even
Satoru Gojo. I can't wait until the next episode comes out. Oh my gosh. Listen. Okay, I'm not going to make a prediction. At least I hope it comes true. That the next episode is going to be almost, if not better, than episode 3, which was the one with Maki. Because right now in this whole season, I think Maki's was probably the most entertaining. I think the battle with Higurumi and Yuji was very entertaining as well, and it also had a lot of the substance along with it. I think Maki's episode, though, is probably the best, I feel like, in this season. But you guys already know how much I love Yuta. So, seeing as though maybe this next episode is going to focus on Yuta facing off against these high-level sorcerers, I'm just saying, it's going to be great. But yeah, what I said prior, I'm going to stick with that, at least for right now, until I rewatch it and then watch it through the edit as well in order to get better context. But from what I believe is a whole, like, Wicker Basket is the origination of the whole simple domain that everybody uses kind of right now in order to counteract the always hit, always kill ability of domains. But since Fushiguro's was incomplete, therefore not doing the always hit, always kill thing that normal domains usually do, his Wicker Basket technically did not affect the domain. Therefore, it caught Reggie off guard for the first couple seconds of the fight. And what I believe he was explaining about this as well is, and I think this happens without his domain as well, is that the things that go inside his shadow, technically Fushiguro still feels it as though he's carrying it with him. So like if he's carrying a sword and he puts the sword into the shadow, his body would still feel as though he's carrying the sword. Does that make any sense? Same thing with like a backpack. If the backpack weighs 10 pounds, don't know what backpack would, but if he's carrying it on his back and weighs 10 pounds, he's like, okay, well, maybe I'll just put it in the shadow, and he drops it into his little shadow. His body will still feel like he's carrying that backpack on his back. So in this, Reggie put 3 cars into the shadow. So technically Fushiguro feels as though he's carrying 3 cars. Obviously, no normal human being could do that. So that's why Fushiguro is not only kind of like scrunching down, reducing the center of gravity and stabilizing himself, but he's also reinforcing himself with cursed energy in order to take up this amount of force. And then Fushiguro put the elephant on top of Reggie, and now they're playing a thing of chicken, in which if the elephant was not being held up by Reggie, Fushiguro could just make the elephant disappear. That way Fushiguro doesn't have to handle the weight of the elephant. But since the elephant is being carried by Reggie, and Reggie is on top of his shadow, Fushiguro is now experiencing the weight of Reggie plus what Reggie's carrying, which is the elephant. So now we're like, okay, who's stronger? And since Reggie's only stability points at this moment is his feet, it's breaking. So Reggie has to like go underneath the shadow, which is very sketchy because like he said, he doesn't really know exactly what's going to be happening if he goes inside the shadow. We soon realize that in the shadow, there's no oxygen. It seems as though he's sinking. It's almost as if he's drowning or he's in space. But then yada, yada, yada. Reggie uses commands on the things that he hasn't used commands for. He tries to drop a house on Fushiguro, but then Fushiguro grabs onto Reggie, making Reggie maybe destroy the floor at that point. But they end up sinking because Fushiguro is heavy because of all the weight he's carrying. And then while he's holding onto Reggie, now Reggie's kind of feeling that weight as well. I don't know. Again, I'll have to like double watch it, triple watch it. But basically all of this was to make Reggie assume that Fushiguro cannot release the wolf, and he used the wolf to do the final attack, which took Reggie out. With this being said, what exactly did we obtain from this fight? The one thing I guess we can say that we obtained is the fact that Fushiguro is just willing to take everyone out. Something that we kind of already figured in the past couple episodes, but like this kind of solidifies it. Reggie hasn't really given us that much information, at least more information, about Kenjaku or about Tengen. Even when Fushiguro asked, like, hey, what's your connection with Tengen? Reggie didn't say anything. So that could mean something in and of itself. I don't know. He did say he didn't really know much about Kenjaku. Like, they weren't well acquainted. But yet, he still was acquainted enough to where he made a pact with him. Just because he likes the whole idea of the Culling game. So, I don't know. Maybe, because Fushiguro's a lot smarter than we are, obviously. So maybe this conversation gave Fushiguro enough to go off of? I don't know. And then with this, we finally got his ability, which is a crazy ability. But I believe from what they said, his ability is whatever he thinks is funny will come true in reality. Or I don't know if it'll come true, but it will come alive in reality. So in the past, he was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if he got hit by a fan? Boom, the dude got hit by a fan. Wouldn't it be funny to do the whole like butt tuck thing? Boom, that happened. Wouldn't it be funny if when we were walking away from each other, it was kind of like this cowboy standoff? Boom, it happened. So honestly, the fact that Takaba is kind of this aloof, funny person, whatever, is kind of a nerf for him because his ability technically is reality altering. And the announcer did say that not even Gojo could go against it. So if this dude said that, oh, wouldn't it be funny if Gojo got hit by one of these things? Gojo would get hit. So it's a crazy power that works well with him because he thinks almost everything's funny, but yet also it nerfs him as well because he's not really thinking logically about his power and thing. Like my idea is like, okay, if Higuruma had this ability, he would be almost the same level as Takaba, only because yes, Higuruma would be smart and he would know how to use the ability to the most extent. But he's not really humorous. He doesn't have that sense of humor. So his ability to find something humorous or find something funny is limited, which would limit his power, right? So it goes hand in hand between being smart and having a high sense of humor, I guess, in this case. And Fushiguro almost taking out Remy. Yes and no. I do understand why he would take her out. One, because 5 points, I guess, is enough. Whatever. But he's never really been a holier art thou person. He's more like, hey, if you try to screw me over, I screw you over. But obviously his sister has kind of been that moral compass for him that we've even seen when we saw back in his middle school or junior high thing of where he was, I want to say he was a bully, but he liked beating people up, right? Even his sister was like, hey, how about we calm down? In which I don't really know how much longer she can wait. I don't know how many more days until like she has to join. So, okay. Now, when I was reacting to it, I was like, okay, what is she doing? Because like technically her technique isn't healing. But I mean, and this is just my assumption, her whole like nullification ability plus the way she looks and all that stuff, it would, to me, I would assume she would be very well acquainted and very good at reverse curse technique. Like this is giving me Mercy vibes. So I wouldn't doubt that she saw him have mercy on Remy. And she was like, okay, this guy seems to have some sort of moral compass and whatnot. And who knows, maybe she even saw his fight with Reggie and she was like, I'm down for that. Thus, she's saving him, which is great because not only if Fushiguro is going to be good, well, and stuff like that, but this is the one person that we were trying to find in the first place. So right now, at this moment, we have 3 objectives done. We found Angel, we got with Higuruma, and we got all the Zenin weapons. So we're on our way. We're as if I'm part of the group, whatever. And then all this buildup. That's crazy. And basically, for the next 3 minutes, give or take, you have the announcer just saying, oh, all these people who are reincarnations, I think, of old school sorcerers, these guys are the cream of the crop, the best of the best. And they're all in one colony, which is crazy. And he's like, yeah, all 4 or 5 of them have just been like pillars of this community. They won't fight each other and stuff like that, just because they know how strong each of them are until Yuta comes out of nowhere and takes one guy out. So now I wouldn't doubt that not only will there be a vying of power, because now they know, oh, this one guy who was very powerful is now gone. So now this is my opportunity to attack. Or now they're going to be like, oh, shoot, there's someone who could defeat one of us. Now I got to be on my guard. So I don't know if this is going to last just one episode, because it can, either one of 2 things are going to happen. Either this is going to be an episode that is going to be great, but then jumps us into the next season, in which the next episode is going to have Yuta deal with 1 or 2 of the people that we mentioned in the last half of this part, or he's somehow going to defeat all of them all at once, which would be crazy, but Yuta's Yuta. And it's only because they decided to join forces and try to take this one guy out. If that's it, then I can't wait. It would probably be slightly unbelievable, but still, it would be hype. But anyways, that was my reaction to Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Episode 11. If you like my reaction, make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys want to know anything more, put a comment below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.